Well, hello. What is the measure of health? I found a quote that I want to talk about tonight. Just want to discuss. And it's regarding what is the measure of health. As you come in, please do share this broadcast out. You have reactions that you can let me know if you agree, disagree, and please do join in the conversation. You can do that by putting comments there. You can do that by hitting on a reaction from a thumbs up to a I don't agree at all. And you know what I always say? That's okay. Right? So what is the measure of health? And it's taken from a quote that I'm going to give that intrigued me, and I hope it brings your thought processes, get them going as well. Hi, Mary. Thank you for coming in. Please do share this out. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let's see. I just let Facebook bring in people so I can just go ahead and get started with this. So the quote is, "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." And this is by Jiddu Krishnamurti. Hi, Dr. Sherman. Thank you for watching. Talking about this quote tonight. And I thought when I saw it, I was like, man, I'd like to come on and just give my, you always see all these different quotes, and sometimes you'll find one that really intrigues you. Thank you so much. And again, the quote is, "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." That is profound because we've seen the higher net. Thank you for coming in. And I'm just getting in, and it's been a crazy, crazy day for me. I'll be so glad when this snow is all over. It feels wonderful to see you in the evening. So when I read this quote, I'll just quote it one more time for those that's just coming in. It's by a person, I don't know this person, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name right, but it's Jiddu Krishnamurti. And the quote again is, "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." And when we say sick society, we're not talking about just physical, right? We're seeing in our society here in America where people have been well adjusted for years to profound sickness, of what we're seeing in Hollywood and what we're seeing with people, the Me Too movement. People being molested, being harassed, being just accosted on every hand. And it's being taken as it's okay. People have become well adjusted to it. And what has happened is now this pattern has been disrupted. This cycle has been disrupted. And it's needed to be disrupted in different places. We've seen it in government. We've seen it in Hollywood. We've seen it it needs to happen in so many other areas. And it's given people power, giving people confidence, giving people, women, or those that have been on the victim end of it, to say, you know what, no more. This is sick. This is not okay. And now you even getting people who have stood by and seen it happen, but didn't do anything because what? They were well adjusted to it happening. It's just the way it is. It's nothing you can do about it. Suck it up and just go on and forget it. Bury it down deep and keep moving. And we end up with so many people with so many, just being, how can I say, so many mental stresses. And these mental stresses can show up in people's lives in so many different ways, causing them to never be in a healthy relationship, causing their health to be imbalanced, because of stress. Stress on the body is the same way. It has the effect of the same as poison in the body. Stress. And when we have prolonged stress, that causes sickness in the body, no longer just in society, but it shows up in ways that it's just, again, that's profound, and sometimes people, it takes them years to put the two together, that one has something to do with the other. Also, does this make sense to you? Are you, those that are here live, even for the replay viewers, that'll be watching, does this make sense to you? We're seeing that people are no longer accepting things as usual. And it needs to happen on a grander scale. Being well adjusted to sick patterns, sick cycles of life, of the way our society has been. I've even see how this can show up in people's health. We've seen cancer and different type of diseases just so rampant that didn't used to be this kind of problem. And why? Because again, we have become well adjusted to the profound sickness of our society and what is done to our food and the way, stuff is pesticides and everything is used over our crops and whatnot, where it's okay for it to happen here in America, and you got other countries that said no, you cannot do that here. But we've become well adjusted to all of the fast foods and the just eating stuff because of not always just because you don't care, but because they've made things faster, made things where you can, microwave it in this instant, and we've gotten away from natural, organic, real food for ourselves. And when we have accepted that and become well adjusted, it also can cause sickness again. Sickness in the ways that we think, sickness in the way that it shows up in our bodies. Sometimes people have such mental stresses, and it's not just because they're mean. It's not just because they're evil or just because, they're cantankerous. Sometimes it has to do with the foods that they eat, the foods that they consume that contribute to this imbalance in their body that causes them cause their adrenals and different systems of the body to be out of balance, that can cause them to act in ways that seem like it's just who they are. It's just who they are. This person say, you hear people say, well, that's just the way I am. Well, do you like being that way? And a lot of times when people will say that, they've become well adjusted to it because it seems like it's no help. It's no way of getting to break that cycle, no way to disrupt that cycle. And just like we're seeing this Me Too movement and we're also seeing a movement of people knowing that they need to get back to eating healthier, taking responsibilities for what we put in our bodies, because it's not just up to the doctors. It's up to each one of us to take responsibilities for what we consume, and when you can see and you hear and you read about all these different things that we've become well adjusted to that is making us sick, as a society, as our nation, you say, you know what? I think I'm going to try and do better. I think I'm going to try eating more fruits and vegetables. You got people who are changing chronic sicknesses, illnesses in their bodies by taking matters into their own hand as far as doing what they can do as far as eating, changing their eating to more plant-based foods that help them to live, help to reverse some of these sicknesses that they're dealing with, some of the symptoms that are causing it, and not just the symptoms, but dealing with the actual root of what's wrong and reversing that. And when that gets reversed, that gets healed, what happens then? The symptoms go away, right? And so it's no measure of health to be well adjusted to things that are wrong, to things that are not right. What do you think about that? Is this something that has occurred to you? If it has, put a 1 in the comments just so I can see that maybe this is not just me thinking this way, because I know that, we have to do what we can do. We have to take responsibility to do what we can do, because we live in these bodies. You live in your body. Your doctor doesn't live in there with you. Nobody lives in there with you but you, So, am I the only one? If this has occurred to you, again, put me a 1 in the comment. I just would like to see. Maybe you didn't put a 1 in the comment because it haven't occurred to you. But you know what? We need to disrupt the cycle, disrupt the pattern of being well adjusted to things that are not right, being well adjusted to things that are not beneficial, being well adjusted to things that can make us mentally sick, stressed, frustrated, mean, and evil, because we're taking in chemicals and different things in our bodies that are causing, that can cause imbalances. It can cause you to act not like yourself at all. And if you've been well adjusted, or somebody, right, that's been well adjusted to being imbalanced, it's time to disrupt the cycle. It's time to disrupt that pattern. And you have the power to do that. And part of it starts with what we eat, what we take in. Because they can come up with all kind of pills, every kind of pill that they want to deal with different symptoms. Those pills cannot do what eating better is going to do for you. Eating more fruits and vegetables. A lot of times what's being done, what is trying to mimic what those fruits and vegetables will do in the body by making a pill that's going to do it. But ultimately, doing that natural thing of eating more fruits and vegetables, setting aside from meats and fish and chicken and stuff for a while, allow your body to get into a place so that it can begin to repair. Our bodies are meant to repair itself. It regenerates cells every 30 minutes, every 35 minutes, depending on which organs it is in the body. It's a lot going on, and we want a lot of good to be going on, right? Because we have responsibility to help that process. Eating those fruits, eating those vegetables, taking the time, even just taking the time where you pull back and say, you know what? I'm going to disrupt this cycle I'm in of eating a lot of fast foods, eating out a lot and just not doing what I know I could do. Right? And it's so amazing how the body will reward you. You'll find that even over a short period of time, when you make the decision to do it, you start feeling better because you know you're about to embark upon something that's going to be beneficial to you. Your body anticipates this new stuff that you promised, right? Thank you for coming in, Miss Charlotte. It anticipates some foods that's going to bring nutrients to the cells. A lot of times we're eating food that fills our belly, makes us feel full, satisfied, and yet we haven't fed our cells, because our cells don't eat hamburgers and French fries. They don't eat, they eat fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds and stuff like that. The nutrients that come from those things. That's what they're meant. That's what our cells are meant to get nutrients from. Right? So, I don't know. Do I sound a little preachy tonight? You say, yes, I do sound a little preachy tonight. I'm just, I just want, when I read this quote, it just really got me. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. That's no measure of health. Well, we know we're well adjusted to stuff that's not right. The way we treat each other, that's part of this. Hey, Mike Chavez, that's part of this whole Me Too movement. The way we treat each other is not right. And they've taken a stand. They've disrupted the cycle, disrupted the pattern, said, you know what? I'm no longer okay with being well adjusted to this profound stuff that's not right, this profound sickness in our society that we've closed the blind eye to and said, well, we'll just act like it's not happening. And hey, Misha, thank you for coming in. We're just going to hold a blind eye to it and act like, well, if I don't see it and I don't say anything, well, it's okay. It's just what goes on. It's just what happens. It's the way things are. And we, one person at a time, just can make a difference. And you want to make a difference starting with your own self, starting with your own family, starting with the people that you see on a regular basis, how we treat each other. It's not okay to be mean and just so, we got all the different stuff about skin colors and everything like that. It's just not right. And it's not okay to be well adjusted to that. That's sickness in our society, and I'm just facts. Tell them. Yeah. I'm just really taken with this quote tonight. And it's just so amazing because there comes a time when patterns and cycles get disrupted. They talk about the revolutions that have happened, where people stop and say, no more. I'm not taking it, or we're not taking it. It's not okay. And we're going to do something about it. We're going to take a stand. And that's what is happening across our nation. That's what needs to happen where you are, where I am, to take a stand for what's right and be well adjusted to that. Even, what happens is when you get well adjusted against the norm or against what the majority is well adjusted to, you stick out. You stick out like a sore thumb. And a lot of times people don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. They just want to blend in with everybody else. And if I don't say nothing, well, as long as it's not happening to me and it's not happening to anybody in my family, well, but that's the thing. You never know when it might hit you. Some of these profound things that are just not right in our society. You never know when it might hit you. I've been in situations where I thought, is this really happening? This is 1990 or not. in fact, this was happened to me one time, and I was really, I just couldn't believe it, because I'm thinking that stuff happened back in the 60s and before, and it should be over, you know. Nobody acts like that, really. So I was on this job, and me and a coworker, a Caucasian young lady, we were really close. We were really good friends, and you know, we did a lot of things together, even after work. And so this particular evening, we had hung out. We went to some kind of meeting, and then afterwards, we were waiting on her boyfriend to come pick us up, drop me off, and they would go home. And so we stopped in this bar. I'm in the Chicago area, so we stopped downtown. We were already downtown, so we stopped in this. We were in the hotel, and then there was a bar. And so after the meeting was over, she said, "Well, we can wait for my boyfriend in here. You know, you want to have a drink?" And I was like, "Yeah, we can, you know, have a drink." And so we sat there at the bar, and it was rectangle shaped. And the bartender was in the middle, so he could see everybody on either side and on the ends. There were hardly anybody there. Just, it was she and I were on one side. There were maybe 2 or 3 other people on the other side. Most people had gone home from the evening. So he came over. This was a white guy. He came over, and he looked at her straight in the face without looking at me. And he said, "May I help you?" And she said, "Yeah, I'll have," she was so naive to things, it just tickled me even when I think about it now. She said, "I'll have whatever wine or whatever she was having. I'll have this and that. And then, what do you have?" And he looked at her. He said, "I asked you, what did you want?" She said, "Well, yeah, I want what I want. And then, what do you want?" And he said it again to her. And I was just looking, thinking, this man is not going to serve me. And I couldn't. I was in my 20s, right? And I just couldn't believe that something like that was happening to us. And so she didn't get it. She really didn't get it until I said, "You know what? This man is not going to serve me. He's only interested in serving you." She got so upset. I mean, genuinely, she was upset. She was like, "Well, we're not spending our money in here," and jumped up and was like, "Come on, let's get out of this place." And we left from out of there, and we both were just shocked. We both were just shocked. Now, I would have been even greaterly, is that a word? I would have been more shocked if she would have been well adjusted to that sickness, as though it was no big deal to her. That would have been a greater shock to me. But, you know, she didn't stand for it. She took a stand against that, saying, "No, this is not right." You know, so that's stuff that we try to teach your children. I don't have any children, right? But that's something that you want to teach them young. That it's okay. Thank you, Raquel, for coming in. That it's okay to take a stand. It's okay sometimes to seem like you're that sore thumb that's sticking out, but you're sticking out for what's right. You're sticking out for what matters the most, right? And just like the health portion, we eat and we eat and we eat so much stuff. And a lot of times we know some of the stuff that we're eating is not conducive to good health. But sometimes we need to break the cycle, disrupt the cycle, stop, wait a minute, hold up, just stop it and say, "You know what, for a period of time, whatever time period you choose, a week, 2 weeks, 30 days, I'm going to just stop and do better and do better and give my body a chance to do all those magnificent things it's meant to do, to restore, to repair, to give you vitality, make you feel better, help your mind, your brain work sharper, you know, by feeding it the stuff that it should have, without the other stuff that we've come well adjusted to, that's making us sick as a society, you know, causing us to deal with all type of problems that we never had to deal with in such proportions, right? So I'm going to get off my soapbox right now. But I really just didn't know that this quote was going to get me like this. But this was by Jiddu, I think I'm pronouncing it Jiddu, Jiddu Krishnamurti. It is no measure of health. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Sick in more ways than one. Right? And so, hey, Sue, thank you for coming in. And so I said all of this too because we're disrupting the cycle as far as our health is concerned and what we have control over. We have control over what we put in our bodies, what we choose to eat. We have control over that. A lot of times we don't take control because we're just well adjusted to doing a lot of stuff that's not right, that's not good. Hey. And so next week is on us. You've been hearing me, if you've been in any of my broadcasts, you've been hearing me talk about the 5-day Go Vegan Challenge. And this is just 5 days. Not forever, if you so choose, but 5 days to try it. If this is something you've been wanting to try, you tried it before, but you weren't successful, and you just figured maybe it's just not for me. Maybe you tried a dish and you said, I can't, this is not going to work. Maybe you tried the wrong dish, or maybe it wasn't time for it. You know, our taste buds want what they want. But this is just a 5-day challenge to go plant-based. You know, that's what it's all about. More plant-based, fresh fruits, vegetables, and seeds and nuts and things like that that's going to nourish your cells. Because listen, if our cells went to the grocery store and did the shopping, what our cells will come back from the grocery store with is not what we, in most cases, come back from the grocery store with. All right? So we want to give a chance for just this 5 days to just try it, to see. And then you know what? Being in this group with other people, you're not trying it alone. You'll have support. You'll have accountability. You'll have some suggestions. You'll have not just one, but myself, Hillary Gooden, also Lorraine Palmer. She's a raw food and vegan expert. She got on this journey because of menopause and totally turned that around from going plant-based. Then there's going to also be Marlene Stubber-Geiser, and she is fit and well lupus fighter. And so her journey of going plant-based is to help with this condition, the chronic condition of lupus, you know, and what you put in your body matters. What you put in your body can make a difference from being healthy to being healthier. You know, you say, I'm already healthy. You can be healthier. So this starts on next week. It's finally here. We talked about it being after all of the holidays. Then we said, well, we still got Super Bowl coming, and we still got Valentine's Day coming. So guess what? Super Bowl has come and gone. Ate all of the stuff from Super Bowl. Now, the last holiday before the challenge is Valentine's Day. So enjoy the dinner, enjoy the chocolates, enjoy whatever it is that you're going to do. And come on and get on this challenge. Starts February the 19th through the 23rd. 5 days. 5 days. If you've ever thought about it, if you've ever wondered about it, if you've ever tried it and failed, and you want to try it again, but you just didn't want to do it by yourself because you feel like you don't know what you're doing. You don't really understand it. Join us at Rejuvenate Now. So everything is going to be taking place inside the Facebook group, our Facebook group, Rejuvenate Now. And again, this starts Monday, February the 19th through the 23rd. This is our second time doing it. And we got many more people that have joined in that say, you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense, especially after all of the holiday eating, all of the, you know, we're talking about from Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. We'll go back to Kwanzaa time, Rosh Hashanah, right? New Year's, Super Bowl, and then finally Valentine's Day to say, you know what, now I'm going to give my body a rest. I'm going to really try to help my body help me by giving it what it's supposed to have without all the extras, without all the fluff, and have fun doing it, have fun trying it, try some new recipes, find some new ways of putting meals together. You know, that's what it's all about, giving it a good try for 5 days, just 5 days. You may decide after those 5 days that, you know what, I want to incorporate this more into my daily life, because I feel better. My mind is sharper. I don't feel so sluggish. I don't feel so bloated. You know, all of these are side effects. All of these are side effects of going plant-based, going vegan. Hey, Uncle, thank you for coming in. I think this is the first time me seeing you here. And so, again, February the 19th through the 23rd, 5-day vegan challenge, trying to reconnect, is finally here. Finally here, February the 19th through the 23rd. So enjoy your Valentine's Day and then be ready. Because we're ready. We're planning and getting it all together to make it fun and exciting and you know, just ready for whatever questions and concerns you may have, so that you can make it, go through this challenge and come out on the other end of it saying that this is something that you're going to incorporate into your life. This is something that's going to be your new way of measuring health. You're no longer going to just say, well, I'm just well adjusted to the way it's always been. And I'll go to my doctor and see if he can give me a pill for the indigestion and for the different problems that come from eating the wrong things too much, too consistently, and not giving our bodies that chance, that opportunity to slow down and just do what God intended for our bodies to do. We have to help our bodies. You know, that's my hashtag. Help your body help you. You got the power to do that. We have control over what we put in our mouths, over what we choose, decide to eat. So I'm excited, and I really hope that if you're not in that challenge, even if you say, you know, I don't think I really can do it, just come so that you can check it out, so that you can hear what it's all about. You might change your decision. You know, in the midst of it, saying it just makes sense. This is not as hard as I've always thought it to be. You know, sometimes people think that those that go vegan or go vegetarian are kooky, but everybody's not kooky. It's just a lot of people in our society at this point in time have made decisions to say, you know what, I'm going to take my health into my own hands as far as what I can do as it relates to what I eat. If the way I eat is causing me to be sick, I'm going to disrupt that pattern. I'm not going to be well adjusted to that pattern anymore. I'm going to develop a new pattern. And then I'm going to be well adjusted to that, because that's what you'll find that's going to work for you. Help you to get better, help you to feel better, help you to be healthier. Right? So, I'm Hillary Gooden, your Vibrant Life Coach, certified lymphology expert, and I empower people with strategies to get their life back from the control of different stresses that affect your body, mind, and spirit, with tools and techniques to work the lymphatic system, using also different holistic practices like going more plant-based, going vegan, going vegetarian, to help the body to do what God intended for it to do. And our bodies were meant to repair themselves, to heal itself, if the conditions are right. So let me help you discover how that can work for you, how that can work for you and your family, right? So again, it's going to be taking place inside the group Rejuvenate Now. I'll place it in the comments. Or Sue, maybe you can type that in there for me. I'd appreciate it. Rejuvenate Now. Sue is a member of our community, and I hope that she's going to be joining in on this challenge as well. So, Rejuvenate Now. Hey, Natalie Olson, thank you for coming in. And listen, share this broadcast. Sharing is caring. You know, this kind of information needs to be shared with somebody that you know and love, that you know could benefit from this information. You know, a lot of times we think that we can just get everything we need from the doctor, and that's not necessarily so. Thank you all for sharing this again. Sue, I appreciate that. Dr. Carol Sherman, thank you for sharing this. You know, we need to, you know, like, again, caring is sharing. Sharing is caring. So you want to tell somebody else about it. You know, you feel like maybe it's not quite me, but I know somebody that's been talking about it, but they haven't actually done it. They haven't actually tried it. Share them with this information, this broadcast. Invite them to this broadcast so that they can have the information. Let them know about the group, Rejuvenate Now. You know, so the more, the better. The whole mission is to help you discover what you can do. There's so much that you can do to help your body help you. That's aside from expecting your doctor to have all the answers. Your body, your doctor don't live inside your body. You live inside your body. And so this is something that you can do to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life. A life filled with more vitality, wellness, clarity of mind, less pain, less inflammation. Wow. Just from switching. Even if you do it these 5 days, we talk about 5 days. You'd be surprised how your body will reward you with those things I talked about. Right? So thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm here on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday between 8:30 and 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 8:30 and 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Oh, okay. So I got somebody that just asked to join the group. Yay for Annetta. You know. So, and this is not just for women. Oscar joined. Maman, he's the guy. He joined. Because, you know, it's for anybody that's want to do better. It's for anybody that wants to discover, what can I do to help my body? You know, what can I do? Or how hard is this vegan thing? It's a journey for me too. I'm not totally vegan, but I know that it helps. And so when you're on this journey, I'm on this journey with you, right? Because this is something we can do to help our bodies. And if you know somebody that's suffering from some type of chronic condition like lupus, MS, all of these a lot of different chronic conditions, even to cancer, diabetes, your diet and what you eat makes a big difference. Makes a big difference in overcoming that sickness, overcoming that that condition in your body. So if you know somebody that suffers from some type of chronic condition and you want them to know about it, just let them know to join Rejuvenate Now, and you can join it as well. So that's all I have for tonight. I don't see any questions. If you have any questions or any concerns as you join the group, put your questions and concerns there, because we intend to answer whatever questions and concerns you have during the whole week, you know, and then we'll have a wrap up at the end of the week. But it's going to be a lot going on, and people are excited and joining. And that's, you know, I'm just excited that people are taking the responsibility to just try it. One lady said, you know, if you've been on the edge, and you've been wanting to try, but you just haven't done it, this is the challenge for you. And so that's what I say too. This is the challenge for you. If you thought about it, but you said, I don't know, it may be too hard. It may be easier than you thought. right? So thank you for being here with me tonight, and I'll be back Wednesday and Friday. And this Friday, Marlene and Lorraine, they will be coming on live to just give everybody that's joining the challenge, the 5-day Go Vegan challenge, to give them a glimpse of some of the things that they need to look at buying for, as far as groceries are concerned, for the challenge for the week ahead. So that'll be this Friday. I'm not sure what the date is, but this week, Friday, Marlene and Lorraine will be coming on live inside the group to tell those that are ready and excited about joining some of the things that they might get ahead of time, so they'll be prepared for some of the meals and recipes and stuff that'll be shared during the week. So I invite you to join, and I invite you to invite somebody else you know and love. So thank you for being here tonight, and I'm going to just go ahead and close down. And again, the quote for today was by Jiddu Krishnamurti. The quote is, "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Take a stand. Do it for you. Do it for your family. Do it for those around you. Take a stand in the way that you can. Right? I see you all Wednesday. Join the group at Rejuvenate Now. Good night.